Hello and welcome back to Story Reckless. What kind of inflections will I do tonight? I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here, and I use he/him pronouns. We are doing some D&D tonight in Descent into Avernus, and I want to give a quick shout out and good luck to So Silly Yo on your paper, because man, that is rough. Good luck. I hope you get through it. I'm also going to be seeing them very soon, and I'm excited for that, like in person. So that'll be very exciting.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, we are Story Reckless. Let's do some other intros, shall we?
I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. Still Kadam, who's a half-elf grave cleric.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns. Tonight I'm going to be playing, once again, Calliope, Air Genasi old lady, and I've had it up to here with side quests and stuff, but what's a couple more? It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Hi, I'm Enyo, they, them, or Sha, which is just them in Tagalog. And I am playing, I almost said Calliope. I'm playing Pip.
Oh, could we do that sometimes? Swap characters?
That would actually be really funny. Well, it's because I was practicing Calliope's voice for a while because I was like, it'd be a lot of fun for Pip to just like mimic Calliope for no reason other than to bother her.
Do you know the one Avatar: The Last Airbender episode where they do a big recap via
Yeah.
I wonder if we could do that, and the way that we like kind of pull off the like bad actors being the people is we all swap characters and like reenact like critical scenes.
God.
Or I have some big bad evil guy do some sort of body swapping episode thing.
There we go.
That's also a classic episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, we've had 3 bathhouse episodes. 4. And not a single body swap. Anyway, I'm playing Pip, an alchemist satyr who gets people off topic all the time. Who knows? Whatever.
Yes. Awesome. Well, with all of that, I think we can jump right back into this. I think there's some exciting stuff afoot. Potential. Anyways, yeah, last we left off, you all had just left Red Ruth's and were headed straight for Mordenkainen's tower in hopes of getting some more information. I believe specifically you went there in hopes of figuring out some way to help with the Archon situation.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps gaining an upper hand or some help in pulling off this heist with Archon to get the blood or whatever. Some resources. Powerful wizard. You set out driving across the wasteland, following the hand, pointing in a direction. Driving for quite a while, as usual. And during this drive, you all swapped turns to get some rest in as you went on your road trip. And Kadam, during your rest, you spent a bit of time praying to Sehanine, and then drifted off into unconsciousness to be visited by Sehanine in the dream world, I suppose. Here you saw Sehanine in their barn owl form with the multitude of wings in a starry sea. And they brought you to that hill once again with the iron trees and the various figures either hanging or impaled on the trees, and up at the top, the one lone figure that they've shown you before. You told Sehanine that you needed to tend to... Sorry, I'm laughing for something that happened off stream that hopefully will become very clear at some point. You told Sehanine you needed to focus on the people of Elturel.
I asked God to wait.
Yes. And God embraced you and pulled you into their soft downy feathers back into the starry sea and allowed you to stay there as long as you needed. There was no sudden ending to the vision. It seemed to be entirely in your hands. And eventually you came to consciousness, finding yourself and your companions pulling up on a massive lake of boiling blood, because of course. And there in this kind of center of it, off of a peninsula, was a rocky island with a tall, dark, metallic tower with some horns at the top, metal horns, crackling with red lightning and energy. And at the base of the tower was a collection of tents and figures milling about. You headed up to the base, discovering many of these fiendish creatures you've encountered before, the insect-like ones and the big, hulking, kind of green-skinned, bat-winged, devilish-looking creatures, and called out for Mordenkainen. There was no response, so Calliope, you levitated up with Kadam to the balcony, the single balcony on this windowless, doorless tower, and upon stepping upon it, triggered a trap. A thunder wave trap, which poof, sent you flying off the balcony. And as you recovered, you watched this fractal-like door twirl open, and standing there in blinding red light, silhouetted, was the almighty Mordenkainen as he stepped out onto the balcony, announcing himself, seeming very perturbed that you would step upon his balcony without permission. But upon talking with him, he didn't seem to have much, I guess, to offer you. But there was some negotiation going on where he'd be willing to help in exchange for the shield of the Hidden Lord, the shield that holds Gargauth. Or he mentioned he'd be willing to help you for some blood from a powerful creature. Blood from either a pit fiend, a Baelor, or a powerful celestial being. And that's kind of where we left off. Pip, you were here. We just assumed that you were holding the shield there while your companions spoke. And yeah, Gargauth seemed to have a conversation with Mordenkainen privately when all of this kicked off. Pip, is there anything you want to do? We'll just say we'll take a moment here as like you're there holding the shield, and we kind of see the conversation and the negotiation happening around you, and those voices sort of fade into the background as we focus in on Pip. I think, Pip, the big thing for you maybe right now, maybe why you weren't so present in this moment, I think the reason is that you had that strong feeling of Maggie being with you for a while after the events with the Dryads. That was a huge surge of despair and pain that washed over all of you. And you felt that presence creep into your mind, and you started to feel this. I'll let you decide what you think about this, but you started to feel this almost twisted satisfaction as that grief washed over all of you.
Pip has to take a moment. I think Pip is battling with herself as she's feeling this and thinking, this isn't... No, I'm not satisfied at all. This is terrible. But then part of her also thinks like, but you don't get to go back to the Feywild either. Isn't it kind of nice that you're all stuck out here? And I think she's trying to... I think she recognizes that it's Mad Maggie, right? Yeah.
I think so, but it's one of those things where I think you can rationalize that, but the emotional response, the thing that you are feeling in your gut, it's like it's your own feeling of feeling satisfied. And so you're trying, it's like you can rationalize that is Mad Maggie, but it feels like, so yeah, and you can have both feelings at the same time. You can have that feeling of satisfaction and this like revulsion, and they're fighting with each other.
Yeah, so I think Pip is very preoccupied with that because after everything with the Dryads and Red Ruth, Pip is still, and also her quick visit to the Feywild. Pip is having a lot of emotions and is thinking like, and now they're going to take away my protection. I mean, do I care about what Mordenkainen's going to do with it? Seems like it's not going to be my problem, right?
I won't be your problem for very much longer.
Loop me in on the conversation that you're having.
I just told him who I am. He's a bit busy right now.
Well, I can't exactly use detect thoughts on a wizard like that. He's so wizardy.
He's very wizardy. He's the most wizards of wizards.
Ugh. He's insufferable. Do you want to go with him?
Well, I think he could help me a little more than you have been, to be honest.
I have been actively not helping you at all, so really anything is better than that. I've been actively terrible to you, so I understand why you wouldn't want to be around. I don't apologize.
Then let me go.
But it's kind of nice having you here.
Oh, Pip. You said it yourself, I'm useless. I've heard your companions say the same thing.
I could have used you to fireball that tree ant and it would have ended it so fast.
Maybe.
Why didn't I do that? I forgot.
Yes, why didn't you?
I thought there might have been somebody in there that needed to be saved and fireballing them wouldn't help. But they would have died anyway.
Pip, do this kindness for me.
No, don't call it a kindness.
I will remember it. I can help you later. No strings attached.
I don't believe that for a second. You can't say that to me.
I am saying it to you.
Well, okay, fine. Pip wants to see if he's lying or how he's lying.
Sure. Go ahead, make a insight check on the voice.
I think Pip can't have a conversation completely. That's a natural 20.
You got a natural 20? Oh.
You can't lie to me.
Oh no. 30? Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay. He's not lying to you, but he is. He's clearly scheming.
Mm-hmm.
He so desperately wants to go with Mordenkainen, so desperately, and yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like, what else were you hoping to gather from this? Because I think it's the things you can probably intone from his tone of voice, from what he's saying, is that he's not lying to you, but he desperately wants to get away from you. Desperately wants to be with Mordenkainen, and he's definitely plotting something else. Like there's a lot. He seems to be trying to play something, right, to his advantage.
Yeah. And that much is obvious.
Yeah.
I think to Pip. What she really wants to know is, when he says he's going to help her, does he mean?
Oh, does he mean that? Yeah.
Does he mean that that he'll help her when things start to go bad because of him?
You get the sense that he genuinely means that he will help you, only you, no strings attached. So it would just be for you. You would, he seems to be offering, like, yeah, that he would be willing to help you if he finds a way out. He would be willing to help you specifically and no one else.
That's a powerful ally to have, but at what cost? Okay. I think at that, Pip is just sort of silent and watches the proceedings, kind of mulling all that over.
Okay. All right. Well, as we fade back up to the conversation at hand, I'm trying to remember where exactly we left off, but if one of you has something you want to say to Mordenkainen, please feel free to. Otherwise, I think he's probably stroking his mustache, his beautifully groomed mustache, looking down at both of you or all three of you, as it seems that this isn't quite going the way he wanted. Well, you're looking for the Bleeding Citadel, a place that cannot be found, that cannot be approached by any mortal or devil or demon.
So just Lulu then.
Just Lulu? Ah, yes, the little holy font there. Yes, well, I suspect she doesn't know where it is, or you would have already gone there. I know of an
You were
individual.
there.
What was that?
Lulu, I mean, sorry, not you, Mordenkainen.
Well, as I was going to say, I know of an individual. I believe that was there, that could guide you there. I could tell you where this individual is. Again, in exchange for either this shield or get me some of that blood.
Would this individual be predisposed to helping us, or are you just gonna drop us into, like, I don't know, a dragon's maw or something?
Well, I think if you were to help this individual out, that they would be predisposed to guiding you. And they do need some help, trust me.
I'm getting that. A lot of folks down here need help. I think I'm starting to understand that the currency of Avernus is not, in fact, soul coins, but favors and side quests.
That will get you a long way down here, that is for sure.
I'm listening. That's the most intriguing thing you've said yet.
Well, as I said, you pass off that shield or you get me that blood and I can tell you exactly where to find this individual.
And some of Lulu's blood wouldn't work. Not that I would do it without asking, but just checking.
Kind of scrunches his brow looking down at the holy font as Lulu flutters there. Kind of does a quick little side eye to you, Pip.
We've got to cover all our bases.
A lot of people want Lulu's fluids.
Yeah.
First the tears, now the blood.
I guess it just depends on how much blood. I am very little.
You're so little.
That's intriguing, but I don't think that being is going to be quite powerful enough for what I need. I do have a specific creature in mind that I could send you to. Unless, of course, you have other options.
Is it a unicorn at the top of a tower asking for me?
No, but that would do it, if you know where one is. I was specifically thinking of a pit fiend, one that is severely weakened and is being punished. Should be no problem.
So we could just theoretically go over to where this pit fiend is and scoop up some blood?
It'll be a little more complicated than that.
Pip? Would you be willing to give up Gargouth?
And do you think Gargoth would seek reprisal from the many indignities that he may have suffered? I think you know him better than we do.
No, of course not.
Of course not, Pip.
Yeah.
It's just covering his mouth.
It doesn't work like, okay.
Anyway, he wouldn't hurt me, but I don't trust that he wouldn't hurt anybody. He really, really wants to go with Mordenkainen, and that's worrying. I'm afraid it's more than just freedom, you know?
Fair. I have one idea.
No.
If you don't want to give up Gargouth.
Well,
Mordenkainen, would you be so kind as to approach or let me approach? I have something to show you that might replace blood. But it's kind of secret.
is it a
Only
lot of soul
kinda.
coins?
It ain't a lot of soul coins.
It almost been so mysterious.
I know. What else are they hiding from us?
What are they?
First, a secret
Do they have a
millionaire,
unicorn
and
in their bag?
oh my god, it's a unicorn. Is it like an important severed head?
I mean, they do have those.
They have a lot
I
of
can
those.
see you just fine from up here.
Can you cast Identify from this distance?
That does require touch, doesn't it?
Or a familiar.
Oh, familiar. That's right. Yeah, actually. Oh, yes, no problem. And he gestures his hand kind of back towards the door, which peels open. And I believe... I don't know if this is rules as written, but I think a homunculus can work like that. So,
Go for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gestures his hand. The fractal door opens up, and you see this, like... It's like a collection of metallic kind of cubes and, like, rhomboids that are sort of, like fluttering through the air, almost like a particle wave, just as it floats out up next to him, and he kind of gestures down towards you all. Oh, damn it, I can't think of a good name. Oh well, gestures down towards you all. Please head down to our companions down there, and I will be able to identify with my little friend here, as this particle sort of cloud of metallic shapes flutters down towards you all.
As this is happening, I'm going to, if I can, in my pocket, pop the cork out of the Trillium, dip my thumb in there, and
Oh.
put the cork back.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Just so I have a couple drops on my thumb.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah. So you drop that on your thumb. You feel like a sharp tingling sensation on your thumb that shoots up your arm and then turns to warmth and then quickly turns to cold. But you feel it sort of stuck there on the tip of your thumb, and it's still crackling like energy on your skin, kind of prickling and poking, almost like pins and needles. The particle cloud of metallic shapes appears in front of you, Kadam.
And I will hold up the vial.
Okay. You watch as essentially like a pseudopod of little metallic particles extends out and gently wraps around the vial, touching it. You see Mordenkainen's eyes flash as whatever spell he is casting seems to be channeled through. And he takes a moment, and you can barely make out, like, his eyes are rapidly, almost like REM cycle movement, flicking back and forth until he stops for a moment. Oh, wow. Very interesting. That would do.
Would you take half of it?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I will take all of it.
But would you take half of it?
Make a persuasion roll, Kadam.
It's just a little too excited there for my taste. 24.
I will take all of it, and that is my final offer.
I look back at Pip.
How much does Pip know about this stuff?
I don't.
I don't know if Pip knows it exists.
I don't think you know what this is.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
just
think
this,
you
like,
ever.
So mysterious.
3-inch tall vial of what looks like heck,
Quicksilver and mercury, right?
mercury. Thank you. But like
Yeah.
whiter, sort of.
Actually, another point here. I don't think you noticed this, Kadam, because you were pretty focused on Mordenkainen and the homunculus and trying to convince Mordenkainen. Maybe it's only. Let's see here. Maybe it's only Calliope in this moment who notices, because. I mean, Pip, are you like fascinated by this vial? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think then only Calliope probably notices this. Calliope, you notice all of the fiends around you, their eyes grow like dinner plates, and they stare at this thing and are just like suddenly really, really interested in Kadam.
Yeah, we need to make a deal and get out of here, I think.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. That looks incredible. Okay, but I don't think it's a good idea to give Gargouth away.
Okay.
It'll come back to bite us.
Not a good idea to give Gareth. Is that a deal that you're willing to accept? Get on. Otherwise, I think we need to go get out of here and get some pit fiend blood. Or unicorn blood. We'll decide on the way.
It is. I would not have offered it otherwise.
Uh-huh. All right, then let's do it. Make all these guys Mordenkainen's problem.
I'm keeping the vial. You can have the contents.
Yes, very good.
All right, just one moment, please. And he gives a whistle, and the particle cloud flies up, disappears, and you're left for an uncomfortable while waiting as Mordenkainen just stands there at the top of the balcony watching robes billowing in the wind, and you just see all of the fiends starting. Kadam, I think you notice now too, all of them are staring at you. All of them have stopped playing their games. Some of them are standing up. You can see some sort of clutching tightly onto any sort of armaments that they have at their sides, and they're just staring intently at the three of you. Lulu fluttering back in the Infernal War Machine. Valor still leaning against the Persistence and just noticing the tension in the air. She starts to straighten up and stand, grabbing her glaive and holding it at her side. More time passes.
I think Pip this entire time, or Pip is definitely the last to notice that everything has gotten uncomfortable because she's just so excited with like, can I just hold it actually? And is like shaking it.
I'd really rather you not, actually.
No? Okay.
And yeah, Pip, as you go up to it, you see, the fluid inside. Let me see here.
Can you just turn it very slightly?
I have it like in my fist, clutched to my chest at this point.
You just see it's
peek.
this. It is kind of mercury-like. There's this silver fluid inside, but it is constantly shifting, almost like weightlessly inside the vial, and there's just this faint pulse of light coming off of it as it just gently shifts inside the vial.
Okay, when we're out of this situation, I would very much like to know what that actually is.
All right.
Just a peek.
No.
Okay, fine.
You hear the faint kind of crunching sound of feet on gravel and soil as some of the fiends are kind of stepping a bit closer. You see their expressions kind of twisting into grins and grimaces looking at you. The mandibles of the insect ones clicking. And then you hear as the door opens once more and the particle cloud comes flying out. You can see that sort of suspended in the center of the cloud is a vial that's sort of kind of weightless, but it's like rattling around and clicking against the pieces as it floats down to you all and then floats there in front of you, Kadam. The fiends sort of back up just a touch. Let's see here.
I'll take the new vial out of the homunculus
Okay, yeah, you reach in, you can do that.
and then I guess
Just transfer it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
It slides out and sort of drips into the other vial and sort of dances around inside there as you're able to quickly cork it back up. Give me one sec. As you're as you're getting ready to pass it to the homunculus, you hear a sudden shifting of gravel as one of the large green-skinned fiends lunges forward, and in a flash, Mordenkainen flicks his hand out, and a beam of light just arcs through the air. I want to see if this creature actually... Oh, definitely failed. Okay, so I'm gonna take this.
Once again, Nathan playing D&D with himself.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, I'm seeing disintegrates being rolled in the Roll20 chat. That's cool. Love seeing a 72 get rolled.
Okay, so not quite enough to fully evaporate this creature, but blasts it in the side, and a a full like piece of the shoulder of this creature just turns to dust as it tumbles and falls into the dust, sliding up next to you, Kadam, and Mordenkainen goes, "None of that now! Everyone stand back!" You see a bunch of the fiends tensing, and this one that fell by your side, Kadam, is just groaning and slowly looking up at you. And the homunculus reaches out a pseudopod to take the vial.
I will hand it over.
Okay. It pulls it into itself and goes flying up towards Mordenkainen as this green fiend slowly lumbers to its feet and looks down at you and huffs and starts to limp away. Mordenkainen scoops the vial up, takes a look at it very closely. Perfect. What a great transaction. Well, now, I can tell you all the information you need to know. And puts it into, actually passes it back to the homunculus, which flies inside the tower. Right, let's see here. I suppose for this, after seeing that little rambunctious tussle that almost happened, and he scans all the fiends, I will make note of that. All of you remember, I don't like doing business with mercenaries. Well, ones that are not professional. I will see you inside the foyer. I'll be down in a moment. And he disappears as the door closes.
No one comes inside Mordenkainen's tower. Do I still have that couple of drops on my thumb?
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want to do with it? Okay. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Dom just drops dead.
Can I choose to fail?
Yes, you can.
I might choose to fail.
Hold on. Let me make sure I read this.
Y'all, I have no idea what I'm putting in my mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread. Okay, a couple things need to happen first. First, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
5.
Okay. I guess you're a half elf, so it's not the craziest thing, but your age decreases by 11 years.
I just turned 48.
So now yeah, so wow, yeah, that's pretty
Now I'm
significant.
37?
Yeah, so
I'll be 37 again?
so I don't know what this looks like physically. Do people see like if any severely noticeable changes, or is it relatively subtle?
I probably lose a couple gray hairs.
Right, but it's probably not terribly noticeable.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I've been.
So
I'm the human equivalent of my like early 30s right
Yeah.
now.
So, I don't even know if Gadam
know
necessarily
if there's-
knows that this happens, other than just a feeling of like, you feel really refreshed very suddenly upon doing this. But I don't know if Gadam's gonna know that they're suddenly 37 until they, I don't know. Yeah. But you can mark that down as a player.
Okay.
For the next 24 hours, you can regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend. So if you take a short rest, you just get the full amount. Are you exhausted? Do you have any
No.
disease, or are you poisoned?
Depends on what you consider lycanthropy to be.
Oh, interesting.
No! No!
No.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. So, okay, real quick. some disclosure here. This is like a homebrew thing. This is not something from the books, but this is supposed to be a really, really difficult thing to acquire, and also very valuable, as you saw, and very powerful and potent. It maybe could have this effect, but I kind of want lycanthropy to be a little more involved too.
There's also the question of, would Box of Screws be interested in taking this herself if it would take away her current advantages for her long-term plans?
Pitch, what if it did something, interacted with the lycanthropy to like leave Kadam the same age, but somehow de-age the lycanthropy half? Does that make sense? It's like if there's two kind of like essences in Kadam, like half elf and werebore, like it works on the werebore somehow. I'm not totally sure how that would work.
I think that part applies to both, because to me I think they're too entwined with each other in my mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna say for now, let's put a pin in that for a moment. I don't think it's gonna cure your lycanthropy. I think that needs to be a more involved process. But I want to maybe ruminate on that just a little bit.
Okay.
So for now, let's not worry about that. If it comes up, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so if you don't have any of those effects, you don't notice anything. But had you been exhausted, poisoned, or diseased, you would have been cured of that. Now I need you to roll a D100 for me.
What would have happened if we poured it into like the demon grinder as fuel? I wonder. Would its exhaustion have gotten cured?
21.
Okay, you're good. That's it. I believe that's all that happens. Yeah.
Kadam, your skin looks great.
All right.
No, it's just particularly good right now. Must be the lighting, perhaps.
That disintegration, maybe?
Oh my goodness. I have to look into that. That's a skincare routine I've never considered. Disintegration particles. This is enough levity for here. Do you want to leave?
No. We haven't gotten our information.
Oh my god, we haven't. I think Pip has been messing around with like a lot of the River Styx stuff in the meantime as well. And it's just like has since having the feeble mind and been cured of that, occasionally has flashes of like, who am I? What am I doing?
Oh my god, yeah, totally. Well, as you're having that, there's a sudden sound as a door appears, another kind of fractal pattern door materializes at the base of the tower and peels open, revealing more red light spilling out. And you see the form of Mordenkainen there as his robes are billowing. There's just gusts of wind blowing out of the tower, and you hear his voice amplified. You may enter!
Valor, you want to watch the car?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. And she kind of sneers at all the fiends around the area. Yeah, that'll be good. Me and Lulu got this covered.
All right. And I think we head on inside.
Okay.
I'll fold up Big Dummy into my little messenger bag.
Stepping inside, as Morden kind of steps to the side and gestures to let you into this space, you find yourself in this wild, kind of hard to, it's like sensory overload. It's like being on the inside of a disco ball. It's like this kind of spherical chamber with no clear apparent way into it or out of it except for the area that you've entered into, and it's just kind of like rough, like geometrically shaped spherical sort of chamber that's kind of got glints of light, and there's just red crystals embedded up in the ceiling sort of area, like the curved arch ceiling, that are emanating that bright red light that's just filling the chamber. And Mordenkainen swirls around as the fractal door closes, sort of like spirals close behind you, and steps to the back, what you assume is the back of this chamber, and gesticulates his hands as again, like fractal shapes of metallic pieces sort of swirl out of the ground and form a table and some chairs that appear, and he sort of plops down. His chair is very large and high-backed, and yours all just look like, chairs.
I will unfold Big Dummy again and get out and get up Big Dummy as a chair.
You see one of his eyebrows raise as he looks at Big Dummy and cocks his head. Oh, wow, a genuine Hell Rider. Huh.
Genuine article. Don't make them like they used to.
Love the
Apparently
construction.
They used to make them like idiots.
Really? What makes you say that?
A crusade into hell itself? What you gonna do? Kill everybody here?
It's quite a silly story, isn't it? But I do genuinely appreciate the craftsmanship of those things that you guys ride around on. So, let us get to business.
Yeah.
The individual you are looking for is known as Yonder. Yonder...
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm sorry?
Wait. Speaking of old Hell Riders, you're kidding.
Yes, I've been informed quite some time ago that Yonder is currently being tortured by Zariel for the very location of the Bleeding Citadel.
Yeah, we just spoke to him. The Ascendant.
Well...
I know where he is.
Oh my
Well,
God.
great! This is all working out wonderfully. I will warn you, though. If you plan to go to the place where he's being held, which sounds like you know where it is, Coward's Hill,
Yeah.
you will run into some problems unless you have a little extra, let's call it, like a pass of some kind.
Like, are we speaking metaphorically?
No, quite literally. I'm offering to give you a pass that will let you get through undetected. You see, if anyone approaches the hill that is not part of Zariel's cadre, well, she has someone guarding the hill, and they will be notified and swoop down to shoo away the intruders.
All right.
Alright. What are you offering?
Well, I'm offering to, this is the part you're probably not gonna like, brand you. You see, there is a, small brand that is applied to the traders that are brought to the hill. It displays the sins that they've done against Zariel, the traitorous acts that they've done against Zariel, and it has a little bit of a magical signature tied to it. One that, if you were to have it, I think it would essentially trick whatever magical security is in place on the hill, and you'd be able to swoop in there undetected and go straight towards Yonder.
It's not the worst thing I've done to get in a place.
Alright.
And you can give us one of these brands? Well, let's do it then.
Yes, I can.
And it's the genuine article.
Yes it is. I am Mordenkainen. You can trust me.
Mm.
Hey, I could have taken that Terillium with me and left you down there with the fiends, with all those Yugoloths, and then, you would have been quite fucked.
They didn't seem interested in me so much as what I gave you. But
I don't think they're going to be very happy. But yes.
how honest is he being with us?
Make an insight roll.
Not fantastic. 18.
It's not fantastic, says Kadam.
It's
High level
below
fail.
average for me.
He is being very honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what crimes have we committed against Zoriel?
That's a good question. That is one for you to decide. Something
Murdering
that...
her lieutenants? Conspiring?
Yeah, we have been conspiring against her, but we didn't really owe her anything in the first place.
I suppose it's not very traitorous, but...
No.
Speak for yourself.
Could work.
I did sign the thing. Honestly,
Oh,
I don't know why I didn't get sucked
did.
down here before.
Oh, we should get Valor and Lulu out here too.
Oh, right, your companions. All right. Oh, I always hate to open the door and then close the door and open the door. I'll get them. Just, yes. Well, why don't one... And the door peels open. Wind blows out, dust going everywhere. A little bit gets inside and he goes... You may enter... What were their names?
Lulu and Nettle.
Lulu and Nettle. You should come in now. Please.
Calliope sticks her head out and like gives them a thumbs up.
They both, Lulu flutters out looking a bit curiously, and Valor slowly strides out, looks around at all the fiends, looks at you. You think the vehicles will be all right?
Could you take care of that as well? I'm assuming that we've paid you enough for safety while we're on your premises.
Anyone who touches their infernal war machines will not do business with Mordenkainen ever again, for eternity. Understood? And Calliope, you see all of the fiends looking really sheepishly around, and they kind of shrink away from the machines. That should do it. And Lulu and Valor come striding in. The door seals shut behind them.
All right, Nettle. We've been through a lot. All right, Lulu. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate your like team spirit? You want to get like matching tattoos
Tattoos?
or tattoo adjacent?
Brands.
I was
Oh.
easing them into it.
Valor just kind of shrugs. Sure, I'll get the brand. Is this like some kind of bonding thing? Why are we doing that now?
I explain
Yeah.
what's going on.
Lulu. I mean, yeah. We're here. Yeah, let's do it. I can definitely do the conspiring one. I technically was one of her companions, so
Yeah.
I was very close to her, so yeah.
And Nettle and Legend, you both signed the oath.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure did.
Mordenkainen claps his hands. Great! What about the two of you?
I probably signed something too without actually really looking at it at some point in my life. I think it's fair to say I've been conspiring.
Did
It might work. It could be a little, we could see.
Did we make any promises to any of the devils back in Elturel and then break them? Because that might count. Like, if an agent of Zariel, like, counts as, or betraying one of them counts as betraying Zariel.
Yeah, did we make any agreements with Gideon that we didn't end up fulfilling?
Do these have to be real crimes?
They...
Could they just be
It's-
potential crimes
It's...
for the future?
Intention to commit crimes?
It seems that what he is asking for, is for something that is, like, genuine, like a real crime against Zariel. Yeah.
What if you Swear loyalty to her and then break that oath immediately. Right here and now.
I swear to always be loyal to Zariel and to tell her that her shoes look nice and whatever other things loyalty to Zariel means.
Hey, how are her shoes?
They're terrible. They're really horrible.
How could you do
You
this?
could do better.
I'm afraid it doesn't quite work like that, especially in here. Maybe if you were out there, she might hear you, but not in here.
Well, you do. Okay, I'm going to go through everything that I've done. This is what I do. Hold on, I've written things down. I've written down at least some of my transactions. I'm sure in here somewhere I've broken a deal to Zariel through one of her many agents. Put this through. I like her little notebook.
I had killed her followers.
That'll probably work.
Oh, that's
Yeah?
an easy one.
Probably. Sure. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, why don't you all just make yourselves comfortable and I'll get to work. And he swoops up and looks at you all. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Perfect. And he goes around. Kadam, so I'm kind of imagining that this brand was going to appear at the base of the neck, but I'm open to it being elsewhere. We could go real hardcore about it, and it could be right across the forehead, so it's nice and visible. We could do right along the neck, like along the throat.
I was gonna offer the inside of my left forearm, but I mean, base of the neck's fine by me.
Okay. And yeah, I kind of am picturing this as like it kind of needs to be in a specific spot, which is why I wanted to kind of open it up. So if the rest of you want it to be somewhere else, we can maybe tweak it. But yeah, it'll appear the base of the neck. So he swirls around behind you, does some somatic gestures, and then extends a hand down to the back of your neck, and this little red hot beam of light just kind of shoots out almost like a tattoo gun, and he just slowly starts to trace along the base of your neck as you feel a sharp pain and start to smell burning skin as he traces out in infernal runes the traitorous act that you have done, and then does a little swirl at the end that creates the symbol of Zariel right below the brand. And it's all kind of interconnected together, and he lifts his hand up. Perfect.
What's the word at the end?
That's a good question. So I would love for there to be like some sort of single decisive word. So for you, Kadam, it was killing her loyal soldiers, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all have an idea of what that could be, I'm open to hear your suggestions. But yeah, I'm trying to think like.
I'm currently on Merriam-Webster's thesaurus. I got despoiler.
Despoiler.
Ruiner.
That's good. Ruiner. Okay.
Saboteur, desecrator.
Saboteur might work.
I'm trying to think if there's like another term for friendly fire that's not so modern. Like, or that's probably not. Yeah, saboteur is good. Oh yeah, actually that probably works. Yeah, I think that works.
God, that's so metal.
So you will get the word saboteur burned into the base of your neck, and you feel that heat and warmth course through your neck as it finishes. And Mordenkainen starts going down the line, burning in these brands on each of you. So Pip, I believe you also will get saboteurs. Calliope, do you have an idea of what you want your word to be? I mean, it could just be like traitor, but
I think Oathbreaker.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah.
great. Yeah. Okay. So you get Oathbreaker burned into the base of your neck. Same with Valor. What does Lulu get?
But first, that was Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
Hey, that's so good, though. That's really good.
Okay, you know what I think it happens is that Mordenkainen goes and writes out, I think he probably writes out Oathbreaker. And then there's this, he kind of scrunches his nose, and there's like sort of a little flash of energy on the brand. And all of you see this little pulse and flash of like red light, and he kind of flinches and looks down and goes, "That's curious. Huh." And Lulu's like wincing and goes, What? What's wrong?" "It changed. I think it's still gonna work. I'll make sure." And he focuses in and does a quick casting of Identify and focuses on the runes, and you can see his eyes doing that flicking again. "The enchantment still seems to be working properly, but the word changed.
You've been doing more crimes, Lulu, on the sly?
No? Well, for some reason yours says Heartbreaker instead of Oathbreaker." "Oh, okay. Well, I kind of like that a little more, but..." And then she flutters out from under Mordenkainen and kind of twirls in the room so that the back of her neck is facing you all, and she kind of strains to look at you. "How's it look?" And you see this infernal brand at the base of her neck with Zariel's symbol on it.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks metal as hell.
Honestly, it would go so hard with a cat suit.
"Oh yeah! I should put that on. Okay." "All right, well, you're all set. You have your information, you have your brands, and I have that flask of Torrillium, so thank you very much for that."
I get the feeling that we overpaid here. You owe us one, I'm gonna say.
That was not part of the deal.
Yeah, I know. But, in the cosmic scale of things, doesn't need to be on the books.
All right, well, you know where to find me if you're ever back in Avernus, or if you never escape. So, good luck. Now, please, leave.
We might come back to see if we can't restore the balance a little bit here.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Between us.
Between us? Just you and I?
Yeah,
You don't think we're balanced up then?
not entirely. But thank you.
Well, we made a trade, didn't we? Fair is fair.
I'm going to cast Sending to my father.
Okay.
Based off of what Mordenkainen said, it should be able to be uninterrupted.
Okay.
Real quick, just to add I'm alive, I love you, how's Dad?
Okay. The spell goes out. Go ahead and roll to see. Yeah. Roll to see if it connects.
Sending takes 10 minutes, so it's like mid-conversation. Hold that thought.
Yeah, I mean, Mordecai
It's an
sees
action.
you suddenly cast the spell, and then
Sure,
it
and, like,
recognizes
that's
it,
fine.
and he kind of goes, "Oh, okay, fine."
60.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
It goes through. You do not feel a presence.
Right.
And forgive me, it's been so long. You sent this to
Ada.
who is your elf father, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Oh my god, I don't remember what his voice was, but
He sounds like me.
like you. Okay, yeah.
We picked up the Elvish accent.
Yeah, the elvish
Yeah,
accent.
nah.
The elves of the Wood of Sharp Teeth got that nice little twang.
Twang.
Yeah.
Casting time of 1 action, Olive.
Oh, I was wrong.
Why can't I feel like I can't summon forth the Kadam. Where are you? We're holding up. Dad, not so much. He's doing a lot worse. When are you gonna be back? I think that's it. And Mordenkainen claps his hands. The door opens. Wind. All right, please leave. We're good. We've done our business. I have other business to attend to. Shoo. Shoo.
We shoo.
I had some questions about how you kind of set this demi plane up.
No,
Okay,
please
okay.
leave. Come on. And as you exit, the door twirls closed, and you see your vehicle is fine. All the fiends are glaring at you all as you approach your vehicle. And yeah, do you want to pile in?
Let's book it.
Okay. Pile in and take off. As you start driving across the peninsula, you see behind you as you're driving away the little flash of red light and the figure stand back out on the balcony and hear the booming voice kind of echoing across as Mordenkainen starts to treat business with the other fiends that are below the tower as you drive away. You eventually get to the other side of the boiling lake and see the giant demon grinder waiting there patiently for you. And you can hop in and set the hand pointing in a direction.
May I have the hand?
Sure.
I have a pretty damn good idea where we're going.
Hey, Gargath, glad to see that we get to hang out for just a little bit longer.
Oh, what a delight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then in your mind, Pip, I will remember this.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Once Kadam pulled that stuff out, I was thinking I really should have just gone with the shield.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I didn't know they had it. Why am I telling you this?
Oh, 'cause we're friends, aren't we?
It's so lonely.
I know you can always talk to me. And no one will know.
Oh, Gargoth, that's so true. We're really in it now.
We are, aren't we?
Will you tell me why all of the demons? Oh my goodness, I keep doing this. Will you tell me what was up with actually all of that stuff?
Which stuff?
Why were the devils going crazy for it?
Oh, those weren't devils. Those were not devils, those were Yugoloths. They are a type of fiend. They work for just about anyone, as long as the pay is right. Oh, they were probably going... Well, I don't think your friend knew what they had. I could tell you.
What do you want in exchange? More airtime?
Definitely more airtime.
Can be arranged.
I really just want to find a way out of here, Pip. I want to be free of this shield. I will be honest with you. I genuinely thought all I needed to do was get to Avernus, and I would be freed. But I'm not. I'm still here. I'm still stuck here. I've been here forever.
But what are you going to do once you're freed?
I'm gonna try to take this place back. It was once mine. fucked it all up. And now Zariel. She could be a valuable asset. But I have a feeling she'd be too stubborn. She'd be unwilling to share the power.
And you think you could really do it?
Yes. I have powerful allies down here. I could muster them. I could form legions around my banner. I could challenge Zariel. If you just get me out.
And do you think Mordenkainen can get you out?
Yes, I think so. The man is arrogant beyond belief, but there's no doubting his power. He's known throughout the plains.
Then perhaps when our business is finished here, we can make another deal with Mordenkainen.
Perhaps. You could let me out sooner, though. I could serve as a great distraction.
That is true. We'll take that into consideration.
Good, you do that. I'm gonna hold on to the information about your friend's item.
Fine, whatever. I don't actually care about it anyway.
As
I
we
can't even lie about that.
as we cut back to the rest of you, Kadam, you have the hand. Are you going into persistence, the tormentor? Okay, you hang the little hand up and you focus in on this location that has been sent to you via many visions. I'm still gonna need you to roll those 2d10 for me. I need both numbers.
Yes. 2 1s.
2 1s. Okay.
We're currently using the good stuff, the good fuel.
You're using the good fuel. Oh, the right. You don't need to roll for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice. Well, the 2 1s are for something else, though. But yes,
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me of that. So you're using the good fuel. The vehicles are fine. Okay, Kadam. Roll a d20 for me.
20.
A natural 20?
Natural 20.
All right.
Uh-oh.
No, it's fine.
I think we rolled a 20 on this thing before and it was bad.
No.
So I have rolled now 3 natural 20s on random encounter tables, and it has been combat every single time. The first time was the Knolls.
We're gonna resolve this quickly. Roll the 2d12 for me and give me the total for that.
16.
16. Okay. So this is what happens. You go traveling, setting out across the wastes for 16 hours. Scenery passing by, Kadam, that anticipation building as the hand continually jerks and shifts, points. And as the hours roll on, we can say, if you want, you can do the trade-off again to long rest if you need to. But you travel and drive, and as the hours approach, a Eventually, Kadam, you see that the hand is pointing at something on the horizon. You see a massive column of infernal vehicles, smoke and dust spewing off of them. And you recognize the Wandering Emporium traveling across the wastes, not parked up at the moment. And you realize, it dawns on you that the hand has decided to lead you to the Wandering Emporium. You can certainly try to focus again and try and set off for...
We ain't stopping. I'm resetting it.
Okay.
I'll mark off more acre.
Okay, yeah. Let me mark off the calendar. Oh, I wish you had rolled a 1. That would have been so much fun, but oh well.
Hi, Zariel.
Alright. Kadam, go ahead and roll a 2d10 for me. And I need both numbers.
Yeah.
Oh. And if we're traveling, I don't have time to fix the machines then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if Kadam is, like, pressing...
I'm white knuckling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
58. Or 5 and 8.
5 and 8. Okay. Excellent.
Oh, I have message now, so we can actually talk between the cars while going.
Nice. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, Calliope, I think, you know, there's some trading off of driving, but we'll say in this moment, the Emporium, you see it as well on the horizon, and then suddenly you see Kadam's, you see Persistence just jerk and go off in a different direction away from the Emporium, still driving. And Kadam has not stopped at this point, and it's been 16 hours just driving.
Just turning the wheel.
Okay, just...
The Dom said they knew where they were going.
All right, Kadam, for this one, only roll 1d12.
2.
2. White-knuckled, gripping to the wheel. You know where you need to be. You've been shown many times. An hour passes. 2 hours pass. And you start to see the banks of the Styx appearing kind of off to your left. And then you see that the hand is pointing at something in the distance. Right on the edge of the river Styx, there is a pointed hill. And you can see the darkened shapes of twisted, pointed, angular trees littering the hill, going all the way up to its peak. And there is one that is a bit more prominent, a bit larger, resting at the top. And from this distance, you can even swear that you see almost like flocks of birds, little things in the sky, just flitting about and alighting atop the trees. So, you approach.
Yeah, I will stop a little bit outside of, like, at the base of the hill and get out.
Okay.
I want to stop for her far enough away that bring Uldric, the unbranded.
Oh God, that's
Not
right. You have
radius.
Uldric with you.
I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, well, Uldrock was just like sitting in one of the vehicles, I think, moping. So you totally did forget about Uldrock.
Uldrock, the unbranded. Yes.
I think, yeah. So you kind of stop a good distance away from the hill and address Uldrock, and Uldrock looks at you. Are we gonna get Tiamat's blood?
Working on it. Working on it. It's more about the journey than the destination, maybe.
Okay,
Great.
we are going, right?
I mean, I don't see a path that doesn't end with us intersecting back with that plot line.
That's
So-
a weird way to say it.
Yeah, see, here, I've plotted it out on the graph here. And that's the line there. We're over here, but we're gonna kind of come back and intersect them.
Okay.
Okay,
What do you need me to do?
watch the cars. Just sit here and mope. You're gonna be great at it.
I just want my sword back.
It's right there.
I can't wield it.
Okay, well, I want you to get that sword back too. That would be fantastic.
Okay. I'll watch the vehicles.
Do you want a smaller sword?
No. He sits down and kind of has his knees up by his head and hugs them and just sits there in the demon grinder. All right, you all pile out. It sounds like you're gonna park a distance away from the hill because of Uldrock. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or-
like if there's any obvious perimeter, we will park outside of it.
Okay, yeah, I think so. I mean, you can see where the tree line starts.
Yeah.
So you probably, yeah. We'll say there's like a one of those gullies that's a bit bigger that you're able to pull the vehicles down into, hop out, and start trudging across the barren, cracked landscape towards the hill. You can see that this hill seems to be kind of surrounded by this acrid fog that's sort of coming off the sticks. It doesn't seem to be quite the same as the humid fog that washed through the Emporium that day, but
Okay.
there is just like there's a thickness to the air that you can see. It's like smog in the air. And the hill itself, just about, barren, other than these dark, iron-looking trees that are sprouting up all over it, and it all goes up to almost a triangular point with almost a craggy cliff-like edge that hangs out over the sticks. Let's see here.
So, everyone, there's something I didn't tell you all, frankly, because I thought it would not be relevant for a while.
All right.
But a couple nights ago, I had a dream where my god took me here and showed me yonder. And I guess I just didn't connect the pieces. I thought this was something that they wanted me to do that was separate from actually getting the sword.
Yeah, thinking back about the stuff we saw in Lulu's memories too, it all makes sense. Put it together in retrospect. We just didn't.
You just didn't.
We needed a mad mage in a tower.
Well, we know it now.
Yeah.
We do.
You got anything else in that vision particularly helpful?
Are sturges natural to, do we have sturges on the material plane?
Yeah.
Are they? Okay, cool. So yeah, there are sturges around, but I imagine that they are not the only thing around.
All right.
I
Keep
would
those
like-
fireballs handy then, maybe. I'm referring
Maybe.
to Pip.
Still holding Gargouth out like that.
I would like to help everyone on this hill. I would like to offer them release, and that they get to choose what that is. I understand that yonder has information that we need, and I'm all right with going to him first. But if it's all right with you all, I might want to spend some time here. No one deserves this.
I'm open to it. Let's see what Yonder has to say.
Okay. You approach the hill.
I get into Big Dummy. I'm going to cast Long Strider on Big Dummy.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see here.
And Kadam, I'll say that you have the effects of the Terillium because it's been 18 hours, so you have it still for some time.
Okay. This morning, I would have cast Gift of Alacrity on Calliope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get to add a d8 to all of your initiative rolls.
Sick.
And I would have cast Death Ward on Valor. Based off of our conversation
Okay.
at Red Roots.
Excellent. I'm going to rely on all of you to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You approach the hill and you see this horrible orchard of trees extending up to its peak. And as you get closer, you start to hear the sounds of countless moans and cries of despair as it becomes apparent to you that impaled on the metal branches of the trees are countless bodies, still moving, still writhing in pain, stripped of everything. And as you start to go beneath the boughs of these trees, those cries fill your ears. And in a strange repetition of patterns, you hear the familiar sound of blood dripping on the ground around you. You also hear the sound of leathery wings periodically, and hear the little clinking of clawed feet clattering onto the iron branches around you, and see the skittering of these strange rodent insect-like creatures crawling on the bodies in the trees, these big proboscis sticking out of their snouts that unfurl and impale into the flesh of the beings around you and start to drain them. Some of these sturge-like creatures, they are like sturges, but they look a little different than maybe ones you've encountered on the material plane. Again, in a hellish twist of things, some of them have almost strange humanoid-like features on the fronts of their faces, with the fleshy proboscis coming out the front, like a horrible elongated nose mouth that sort of peels open and a barbed thing sort of pokes out as it sticks into these individuals. And some of these creatures are severely bloated, and in the hellish light you can see this kind of red coloration underneath the fleshy bloated bodies as they fly around. You start making your way up the hill, and at the top, Kadam, you see that one massive iron tree extending into the sky, surrounded by a swarm of sturges that are fluttering about. And as you get closer and closer, hearing the cries of all the people around you, you see an individual there impaled in the center of the tree, and multiple sturges landing and pumping blood directly into them. It's a strange sight seeing the blood drain out of these creatures into this being, and with each time this happens, they let out a cry of pain. getting up close to them, you see a very, very pale elf. The lips are blue. Like, it's odd. They're being pumped full of blood, but it's almost like their lips are blue from like lack, like they're cold. They have multiple barbed hooks piercing through them. One kind of straight through the sternum almost. Another coming up through the gut. Another that is piercing out through the right shoulder, and they're just hanging there, still moving. They seem, this one, all the others have been stripped of everything. This one is still wearing pieces of Hellrider armor. And you realize as you get closer, it looks like it's been bolted into them. They have stringy blonde hair that's long, falling down in front of their face. And Kadam, you can see the distinctive, very long, pointed ears of a full-blooded elf, likely. And yeah, you just hear them crying out in pain, not really registering your presence as you step up to the base of the tree.
How far up are they?
They are, I'm gonna say they're 30 feet up, stuck to this tree, and the tree itself is probably 60 to 70 feet tall.
And do I see any indication that there is anyone or anything other than the Sturges watching?
I would
I
also
see-
like to look around.
Yeah, both of you go ahead and make perception rolls.
Do I see like runes on the branches that might trigger if he is removed? That sort of thing.
24 for me.
24 for you, Clyde? Okay, let's see what the time is.
Not 19.
19. Okay. Kadam, you don't notice anything. Everything, it's a big iron tree. You hear the sounds of everyone around you. You see all the sturges. There's a lot happening here. And of course, the twisted, pained face of this individual is there in front of you now. Calliope, you do see the intricate runes that are hidden amongst the creases of the iron bark in this tree that run all around, kind of in concentric circles around yonder. And you suspect they're probably tied in some way to yonder being attached to this tree.
Can I investigate them more closely with Arcana?
Sure,
Kind of
yeah.
Figure out exactly what they're doing?
Yeah.
Or I could just ritual cast Identify if we want to.
Arcana's fine. I mean, yeah, I guess because you could take 10 minutes to ritual cast. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. So, 10 minutes slowly elapse as Calliope, it's challenging. I think you're able to get some of the runes at the base, but the ones way up top, you would have to, like...
Levitate?
You could levitate, yeah, okay. So you can levitate up and
Okay,
carefully
I'll use that.
inspect. Yeah. It's clear to you that these are tied to the removal of this body. If the body were removed, it would send out an alert to some entity, alerting them that the body's been taken down.
Can I see any way to disable it? Perhaps with a Dispel Magic?
Yeah, that
Right,
could work.
recent alert.
It would... Yeah, I would say you could do that. It would require, if you cast it at its base level, you did identify, so I'll give this to you. If you were to cast a spell magic at its base level, you would need to get a 19 in order to dispel this effect. It's very powerful enchantment on it.
And I've never used Dispel Magic
So
before. What?
you would essentially, to guarantee that it is wiped, you would have to cast it at 9th level. So that's obviously not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what happens is that in order to dispel it, anything above 3rd level, you have to roll your spell.
An ability check
Yes.
using your spellcasting
Yes,
ability.
yes.
And if you cast it at a higher level but still below the level of the thing you're trying to dispel, does that lower the DC?
No, I don't believe it does. I think it's just no matter
Okay.
what. Yeah, I think it's kind of like counter spell where it's like you have to meet it, right? But otherwise you still
Yeah.
have to roll. So
Okay.
that's how I've understood it.
All right. I explained this.
Yeah.
I think I could do it. It would be risky. Do I think a failure would trigger it? Or
Yeah.
could I try multiple times?
Yeah. You think
Yeah.
if like tampering with it would
Yeah.
definitely alert. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Goodbye, Enyo. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Yeah, and we should wrap
We
this up.
should. We are technically over time.
Yeah.
Well, Calliope, as you sit there wondering, trying to decide, I think what we'll leave with, just to end with something just a touch more spicy.
Mm-hmm.
You got that 24 and you're inspecting this. I think this is one of those situations where it's almost, you have no idea what triggers you to look over your shoulder. It's like hair standing on the back of your neck kind of thing. And you look over and you can see far off in the distance, out over the river Styx, just gently gliding across the skyline, what looks to be a flaming horse just gently floating off in the distance. And you hear very faintly, kind of ethereal like, echoing across the landscape, a shrill but that is where we will end tonight's session. Thanks everybody for joining tonight.
Yeah.
So nice seeing people in chat.
It's so nice to
It
be
is.
making progress on the main quest.
Oh,
You're
that
doing
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Love to be making progress on the main quest. Love to have people in chat.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. I should say this now, and I'll do it again the following week and the week after. But I am gonna be out, so we are gonna have a week-long break because I'm gonna be traveling on Wednesday the 29th. So we will not have a show on the 29th. We'll definitely have a show next week. Should have a show on the 22nd. I am flying out very early on the 23rd, so we'll see how I'm feeling.
Okay.
But at the very least, we'll see you all next week. All right.
Sounds good.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.